Hello, honeys. Gracias por sintonizar 15 minutos con Alexandra Peralta Podcast. Hello, honeys. Thank you for tuning in 15 minutes with Alexandra Peralta Podcast. As you can tell, our episode today is in English. My outfit today is thanks to Luxus Boutique. Luxus Boutique has a physical store here in Reading, Pennsylvania, but you can place your orders online. I'm gonna leave their Instagram here on screen so that you can get in touch with them and place your orders. Our savory treats for today for our special guest are, of course, thanks to Glas Delicias, leaving her Instagram on screen so that you can contact her to also place your orders. And thanks to Erival Handcrafted Soaps, who is also sending a special gift to our special guest. Today, I am pleased to introduce to you guys our very special guest who's going to be talking about very important things that are happening in our community here in Reading, Pennsylvania. He is Mr. Ryan Bradlley. Mr. Ryan, thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome.
I cannot wait to hear everything that you have to say and to also get to know a little bit more about yourself.
Okay.
Mr. Ryan, before we start the interview, I'm going to invite everyone to grab their glass of water, their glass of wine, whatever it is that you're drinking right now, and make a toast with us. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mr. Ryan, please tell me a little bit about yourself. A little bit about your background. Where were you born and raised?
Okay, well, as she stated, my name is Ryan Bradlley. I was born and raised in Chester, Pennsylvania. I came to Reading in 1996, and I started a career in the drug and alcohol and mental health field. I went to school. I received a degree in addiction studies, and then I also received a degree in social work. I've worked at various rehabs, mental health facilities since my time of being here in Reading. And 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, I was offered a position with the city of Reading as the Clean City Coordinator, which I accepted. And my job as a Clean City Coordinator, I organize a lot of cleanups, getting a lot of volunteers together. And just for example, just this past Saturday,
Yes.
we had the Great American Cleanup. We had 463 volunteers.
Wow.
We collected over, I think it was like 160 something bags of trash, a lot of bulk items, and a lot of the volunteers were actually like organizations.
That is amazing.
Yeah, a lot of organizations. Reading High School football team, Alvernia. We actually had 150 students from Alvernia that actually come out. We do a lot of work. I do a lot of work with Alvernia when it comes to cleanups. Their freshman class, over 400 of their freshman class, when they first come in, before the school year starts, they come and they volunteer. And you'll see them all throughout the city of Reading cleaning.
That is amazing.
So,
That is a huge impact that you guys are making in the community. How have you been able to organize to be able to get these organizations to want to work, with you and be part of this initiative?
Well, before I had this position, I was doing this in my neighborhood anyway. I was cleaning up before, I started working for the city of Reading.
Okay.
So I have a lot of contacts, and just like building different relationships with different organizations in the community. I had my own nonprofit at one time. So just the relationships that I built in the community,
Absolutely.
with the cleanups, it was just a continuation. Then once I accepted the position, it was easier for me to bring people together to be able to volunteer.
Absolutely. That's the power of creating good, everlasting relationships. What would you say? Is this a passion of yours to keep the city clean, to keep our community nice and clean? Is this
A lot of people really, a lot of people think that it's just cleaning up, but
please.
I like to educate.
Absolutely.
I like to educate.
That's
because,
what we're here.
you know, for one, a clean environment negates to a better quality of life for all
Yes.
people. And you know, when I'm out with the volunteers, you know, we walk and we talk. Of course, we're picking litter up, we're cutting trees or whatever we're doing. But it's about the educational piece. Why are we doing what we're doing?
Yes.
Right? And when I go, I have been in schools, and I have a PowerPoint. And this, when I first seen this, it done something to me. Okay, just imagine a picture of a huge turtle, and around the turtle body is you know, the six packs, the plastic six packs where you have six. It's contorted around the turtle's body, right? And I asked the kids the question. I said, "How do you think that got there? Like the turtle's grown. How do you think that it got there?" And they say, "When it was small." And that's correct. Like that's a piece of litter that came from the street and through our drain system, right? Through the Schuylkill and then out into the Delaware River. You know what I mean? So it's more about, for me, it's more about educating them, you know, the reason why litter is not good.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And why is it necessary to recycle?
It's so important.
Exactly.
It is so important. Like you said, it just keeps our environment in a healthier state, which also helps our quality of life. What do you think is the reason why we are so unconscious when it comes to the trash, when it comes to littering, like throwing like I've seen people, sometimes I'm driving and I in the highway, and I've just seen people throw stuff out of their windows while driving, and I'm like, what's the need for that? Like, why do you think we are so unconscious when it comes to that?
Reading is one of 5 cities that is a part of the litter action plan. The litter action plan was actually it's an action plan that was a study that was done that we're actually in the process of doing now, and Reading is a part of it, where it is stating that litter, when someone, it's behavior. It's behavior. It's just like any other behavior. It's behavior. It's just behavior, and it's something like any other behavior. It's if I'm the parent and I have my young kids with me, and I'm riding and we're done with the McDonald's bags, we're just throwing them out the window.
Right.
So now, over a period of time, my kid is in the back seat, right? And I give them the bag. So what are they going to do?
That's exactly what you're going to do. Throw it out the window.
It's a learned behavior.
Yes.
So and it's stated that in the litter action plan. And what I studied the litter action plan before I wrote the Adopt a Block initiative for the city of Reading, and some of my own research, right, and doing that. When they talked about the behavior, right, it talked about like it can be corrected by the stages of change. And in the mental health field and in the drug and alcohol field, you have something that's called stages of change, right? So they saying that you can use that with someone that you see that's constantly doing it, is to see where they're at, because it can change. Like, it's a behavior, and the behavior can change.
Absolutely.
But am I willing to change the behavior, or am I going to keep on,
doing that?
Exactly.
Yes.
Same thing.
Well, it is amazing. Then that means you're the perfect person for this position because of the background that you have, and you can work on creating conscience in people to change this behavior. So that is amazing. How did this happen? How did you go from the field that you were drug and alcohol and abuse to becoming?
It was during COVID. It was during COVID.
Okay.
And someone came to me and they presented it to me, and they said, I think this is for you. And I said, okay. And it was like some time went by and I didn't say anything, and I got another call, and he was like, I've been waiting on you. So I finally talked to my wife about it, and I finally made the the switch.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, the more I hear you talking, the more I'm convinced that you are the perfect person for that. How can you talk to us a little bit about how does the Adopt a Block works?
Oh, the Adopt a Block program.
Yes.
Actually, I have it's an agreement.
Okay.
It's an agreement, and the agreement is just simple. Like there's nothing that ties the person in the city, the mayor, or anyone at City Hall. There's no connection.
Okay.
So what I do is I give them their supplies, gloves, picker, rakes, whatever they need to get the job done, and we use orange bags. We count orange bags. Orange bags is part of litter action plan.
Okay.
What they're stating is over a certain period of time, once you start cleaning these areas, you should start collecting less orange bags. And it's a proven fact. I'll get to that.
Is it? Okay.
But you clean up once a week for a 2-year period. And like I say, I give them I give them all the supplies. And I even come up myself and help.
Yeah.
Like wow. Sunday I got to clean up tomorrow, and they clean up on Sunday also. Now I'm going out myself. So I go out myself, I help, I clean up, and I go out because I like to educate them.
Right.
About why we're doing this. But yeah, it's a 2-year agreement, and they get signage. I showed you the sign outside. You know what I mean? They can put their name on the sign. I've had people dedicate the block or the garden or whatever. Mm-hmm. One of their loved ones that's not here no more. Someone has their dog name on it. Oh, so yeah, you get signage. But the thing is, what I do is I make sure that they're cleaning, because I have a spreadsheet, and if I don't hear from you, or if you're not taking pictures, sending them to me, right, through text message, then I'm going out and I'm looking. And if it's not, I say something to the person.
Right.
And then if it still don't clean, like I go take the sign down, and we just take them off the list.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I have done that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I just done that last week. Yeah, I just done it last week, and I contacted the person. She said, "Why?" And a lot of times, some people move, right? Some people health go bad. So,
yes, things happen for
exactly.
sure.
So it's about the communication piece.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, like once you commit to it, I mean, at the end of the day, we are doing it for an entire community. So it's not just about, oneself. It's an entire community. And once we commit to something like that, we need to try our best. Unless things like what you just mentioned happen, then we need to commit to it, and we need to just be responsible and do our part. So is this just for organizations, or can I just come in today and tell you I want to adopt?
Anybody. It's for anybody within the Reading city limits.
Okay.
Anybody in the Reading city limits. We have parks adopted. We have playgrounds adopted. We have gardens adopted. I've worked with the Salvation Army and that school down there. Not Amanda Scout, Tyson Shaner.
Yes.
They have a garden out back that we actually built. The mayor's youth summer program, kids that we have in the summertime, they actually built that one. That's for, like, they have tomatoes, all kind of vegetables that they grow in there.
Yes.
And we went there in November. And it was actually pumpkins were growing there. Oh, so they were able. So some of the kids were able to take like some of the pumpkins. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And carve them out or whatever. And also we have a pollinated garden that the mayor's youth program did also on South 7th Street. So this one there's no vegetables or anything, but it's like a pollen. It's for like bumblebees, butterflies, certain birds like that, right? So yeah, for them. And I'm currently working with Northwest Middle School. They just received a grant for their courtyard. So we're going to fix their garden, and they're going to be creating outdoor classroom space. Like they going to be purchasing benches. The benches turn into desks.
Okay.
So yeah, they have a pond there. They're going to expand the pond. There's a lot of good stuff.
I was going to say that sounds amazing. And it sounds like there's a lot of great things that will be happening soon in our community, which is what we want.
Exactly.
And it makes me so happy to hear things like this because, the people in the community, we want to feel important, and we want to feel appreciated, and we want to feel that the leaders of our community are definitely taking care of us,
Exactly.
So Ryan, let me ask you, is the initiative to keep the city clean and the initiative to adopt a block, are those two different programs, and can you explain how they work differently if they are?
There's really no difference.
Okay.
They intertwine.
Okay.
They intertwine. We have organizations that has been cleaning up.
Okay.
Right. So and I've been involved with them before I actually took this position. But now that I have the position, it makes it more easier because the supplies are free to them when they want to clean up. Anybody that want to clean up, they can call me. The supplies are free. Like I say, I'll come out and I'll clean with them.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So it's not they're not two. They're all one. It's all one.
Okay.
It's all one. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
It's
Perfect.
all one, exactly.
I saw recently in social media, I was looking at there was some recent cleaning up that went on here in the city of Reading.
Mm-hmm.
You were a part of that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That was the Great American Cleanup.
Okay.
Like I say, that was the Great American Cleanup. We had different organizations, Reading High School, Alvernia, Burke's Realtors, a lot of neighbors, and what I did mention was, if you inside the agreement, the adopt a block agreement,
yes,
there's something in there. We have 4 different cleanups a year in the city. You have to participate in at least 3 of them.
Okay.
If you adopted a block, you have, and what that means is you're not only cleaning your block, but you're cleaning a 4-block radius of your space.
Yes.
So we had a lot of people actually do that. Now this is important. On May the 18th, 2024, from 8 to 12, I put dumpsters out in certain parts of the city.
Okay.
You could spring clean, you could clean your basements, you could put all kind of stuff in there. You cannot put TVs, tires, no appliances, and no paint. You cannot put none of that stuff in there. We collect TVs and tires ourselves. We do that anyway.
Oh, yeah. You do that. Okay.
Yeah, we do that. On Wednesday, we collect tires, and on Thursday, we collect TVs. You just call it the service center.
Okay.
You just call the service center, and it'll come to me, or it'll come to the foreman. But we already did. But on May the 15th, May 18th. May 18th, it's called Dumpster Day.
Okay.
So I placed 14 dumpsters spread all throughout Reading.
Nice.
And it's free. People could come out, they could dump and we take it away. That's just one. The last 2 years we just did one, but this year we're doing 3.
Oh,
so
wow.
Amazing. We're doing 3. We're doing one in the spring, one in the summer, and we're going to do one in the fall.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a few of the things that examples of the things, clothes, shoes, house accessories, things like that, that we could put in the dumpsters?
That's what you could put in there. You could put furniture, bulk furniture.
Okay.
We just asked that TVs, tires, paint, roofing materials.
Okay.
None of that stuff can go in there.
Okay.
Yeah, none of that stuff can go in there. The paint can be taken to the county. Excuse me, to the county building out in Leesport.
Awesome.
Yeah, but all the rest of the stuff we take it, and we do have people sitting there guarding the dumpsters to make sure none of that stuff goes in there.
That's exactly. Excellent. That's great. So May 18th we have our first dumpster day of the year, and then we have 2 more that will be happening later after that.
Exactly. So we have a dumpster at there's going to be one at Bear Park. There's going to be one at Greenwich and Clinton Street. There's going to be one at Perry and Hampton Boulevard, West Oley and McKnight, 12th and Greenwich, and we have 7 others. They're the 6 that I know of.
Amazing.
Just offhand.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what are some of the other things that people can contact you for? What other services, whatever they need, for, let's say for the city or any other services that you guys offer, that they can contact your office and say, oh, I need.
I'm saying it's whatever. Like I get calls. I was in a meeting after work yesterday. I was in a meeting. It was like 6:30, and I got a call. Somebody called, And I said, well, and as they started telling me more and more, I said, I'll be there. So I went, I did an assessment, and it's some stuff that an alleyway that needs to be cleaned.
Okay.
So the guys are out cleaning the alleyway today. So just stuff like that. People call all the time. I get calls, from a lot of people. The mayor might call, somebody I work with might call.
Right.
This need clean, and I go out and I do assessment. If it's not on private property, we can take care of it.
Okay.
When I say private property, like we can't go inside somebody's backyard.
Right. Right.
If it becomes a problem, right, with the neighbors and mice and stuff running around, then we will take care of it. But there's some stuff we have to do, so we won't be held legally. We won't be held responsible once we step foot on the property.
Absolutely.
We have to go to our solicitor, let him know this is what we're going to do, and get his blessings, and then we actually
move
take
forward.
Care of it. Exactly.
Absolutely. And the reason why I'm asking you is because when you arrived here today, you kind of like assessed the area, and you noticed there was no stations for dogs. Doggy stations. And I really appreciated that, because I was like, you know what? There's actually not a single doggy station around here. And all of my neighbors, they have dogs. So, that is something that we really don't think that is important, but it is. It is, because you see all of the neighbors walking around their dogs, and then you're wondering, where are they?
I heard them too as I was driving.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you're wondering, like, where are they walking to, for their dogs to do their necessities, and what are they doing with it, and where is it going? So you even offered to set up a doggy station in this area.
Yeah, before I leave, I'll go out and I'll put it. I got to mark it. Then I got to go. I got to call it in, because it's kind of like excavating. Anytime you're digging, so they could come. The water company, Comcast, they got to come out and see if they have anything underground. Okay. So I will.
It's a whole process, but it's it's at least like taking the initiative to see if something can be done, which is. Exactly.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know this either, and I just learned this because of having a job. Like when animals, especially when dogs do their due on the street and it's not picked up, that goes into our water system.
I know.
It goes into our water. Even though the water system is filtered, right? It takes more to be able to filter that stuff out.
Exactly. We're just adding more fuel to the fire, let's just say. Exactly. It's funny that you mentioned that, because we just had my husband and I, we recently had we were reading about the water process and all that, and we just realized how all of that stuff, this is another reason why it's so important to keep the community clean, because all of the trash, all of the dirt, everything, all of that also goes into our water, and it just makes the filtering process for our water just complicates everything. And this is why this interview is so important for people to really pay attention to everything that Mr. Bradlley is saying, and to understand how important this is, because it just affects us, in so many ways. Exactly. Mr. Bradlley, can you tell us a little bit about how is your day today? How's the day in the life of Ryan Bradlley? Because you seem to be like a very busy man.
Well, when I first started the position, it was like really, I have grown the position. Like
okay.
I've added more responsibilities to myself.
Yes.
Really, and a lot of times, like, be transparent. Like, I forget a lot.
Yeah.
Like I might get somebody to call. Oh, you said you was going to do this. Oh, I forgot. So then I write it down.
Write it down.
I finally write it down. And like, I get up in the morning, I always thank God, for letting me rise. Right. That's 365 days a year. I do that. I ask him to protect me and protect others, and I go about my day. I go to the shop. I get my truck, certain days I do my doggy stations. I even been lacking on that. Like I went to one yesterday and it was overflowing, you know what I mean? Yes. So, certain days I do make my rounds. I have 17 of them stationed right now. I just put one up on Wednesday. I put another one in on Wednesday. I have one I have to put in a day. So, I try to do that at least twice a week.
Okay.
With the doggy stations.
Yes.
And, I just check my emails and like whatever happens. I ride around. If I see illegal dumping, I write it down. I get out. I take pictures. A resident might call or somebody might call. Can you come look at this? I go take pictures. I call the foreman. Me and the foreman, we may go together and do an assessment. When I leave here, I got to call him. We're going to go. We're going to go do assessment when we leave here. I just started on Tuesdays. I have a drug and alcohol place that they come out with me 5 at a time.
Nice.
And they for community service, like they need community service. So every Tuesday we pick an alley. We go in the alley and we pick an alley and we clean the alley up. So we've done 3 alleys so far.
That's amazing.
So that's my day.
And you are busy, but it's like you're doing amazing things for us. So I truly appreciate that. One question that just popped in my head as we were talking: are there fines for people that are caught littering?
There are ordinances
Okay.
in the city of Reading. If you're caught littering, me myself, when I'm on duty, if I see somebody littering, like I have a badge, like I can write tickets.
You can, okay.
I've been on the job 2 years. I don't write. I haven't wrote one ticket. I like to educate.
Right.
That's why I like to educate. Why times are hard right now.
Absolutely. Yes.
And that behavior can cost somebody a lot of money. So
Yes.
why not just educate them about it? So I like to educate them about it. But to answer your question, there are ordinances where people can be fined for littering. Yes, there are.
Okay. Just something to keep in mind, because people can be like, not really care much about it because there's no punishment to that behavior per se, or they might think that there's no punishment. So that's why I wanted to clear this out so that they know that there is the possibility that
and then
they can get fined.
Reading is a town, a lot of people move from New York, they move from Allentown, they come from different cities, right? And the laws and the ordinance in some towns are different.
Yes.
So what we try to do is educate. That's why when I do my TV show on BCTV, that's what I do. I try to educate about that.
Awesome. Do you have a team of people that they work with you in order to get these volunteers and in order to help you, let's say, with the social media or the spreading of the word every time there's an activity happening? Or
we have a team. It's called
Okay.
the Clean City team.
the Clean City?
We have myself as the Clean City coordinator. We have Ronald Epps. He's the foreman.
Okay.
Stevie Harity. He's the director of all of us, and we have a sustainability manager. Her name is Bethany Ayers Fisher. So we're all a team. We're all a team. We ride off each other. We're all a team.
That is so great. Something that we were talking a little bit earlier was how people can, once they become part of this initiative, they can just come whenever they can on a day that works for them to clean that out. So can you clarify that a little bit so that people understand?
For the Adopt the Block.
Yeah.
For the Adopt the Block program, like once the agreements are signed, there's no set day that you have to go out. Like I got to go clean every Wednesday. It don't work like that.
Please.
So in the winter months, what we actually do in the winter months is just make sure all the drains are clear. So when the snow start melting, because a lot of times when the snow start melting, a lot of debris stay there because there's no street sweeping. So when the snow start melting, a lot of that stuff goes down to the drains. So we ask, even though you're not cleaning your block, but just go out and check the drains, make sure the drains are clear.
Absolutely.
So the water could flow freely. And if they're clogged up, then whatever debris is there to pick them up. So there's no set day once you adopt the block that you have to go out, as long as you're doing it once a week. And what I ask them to do is take pictures of the bags, because I know you've seen it. I post them. Every time somebody send me bags, like I post them. And when I do that, I get in my inbox, how can I adopt a block? What I have to do?
I can imagine.
That's why I do that, for marketing purposes.
Absolutely. That's how we can attract more attention from the people in the community to get involved in this, which is what we want, more people to get involved.
Right. And we have 2 blocks. The block over and Ellery is adopted in this area.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And D.S. Smith.
Yes.
They adopted 2 blocks in their area.
That's so great. That's so great. I think it's definitely making a huge impact, a huge positive impact in our community. So we need to keep going. This happens all year long. And you said for the adopter block, it's a 2-year agreement. I'm sure you can renew your agreement if you want to. Mr. Bradlley, I would want you to send out a message to the people in our community, kind of like motivating them to become part of these initiatives that you have going on in our city.
Okay, for anyone out there that's interested in, and getting involved, and really like making a difference. Because when I say we because I'll be there with you. Anyone that wants to make a difference in the community, when we take care of our community can take care of us. And when I say that, I mean, just the quality of life. More people in certain neighborhoods are actually sitting out on their porch now, right? Because the community is clean. You have clean air, right? When you have a lot of litter and trash and stuff built up, flies flying around, like no one wants that. So we're really like getting away from that. So it might just take you. There might be 30 houses on your block. It might take you to get out there to push the narrative. We've had that where one person came out and they start cleaning, and 2 or 3 weeks later, the neighbors start sitting on the porch, then they went from the porch, then they start picking up themselves. My message is this: just imagine if everyone just cleaned the front of their house, just in front of their home, right? We would have a way better community than what we have now. Just everyone that owns a home, just focus on what's in front of their house.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I couldn't agree more with you. I truly hope that this message gets to the people in our community. Thank you so much, Mr. Bradlley, for being here with us today, for talking about these very, very important things. Absolutely.
I would be remiss, right, if I didn't say what I'm ready to say. The Adopt a Block program was something that was given to me by Eddie Moran, our mayor. When I took this position, he tasked me to start like a neighborhood watch again. And what I did was, with his blessing, I took it to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? So without him, that way, this wouldn't be possible.
We are so blessed to have a mayor like Eddie. That's for sure.
Exactly.
So thank you to Eddie as well. Thank you, Mr. Bradlley, again. I do have a few things for you, courtesy of some of our sponsors. This is a yummy tray of savory treats from Glas Delicias.
Thank you.
And this is a nice, lovely handmade soap from our sponsor, Erival Handcrafted Soaps.
Okay.
So that's all for you to take home.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to say goodbye to you now. Thank you for always tuning in 15 Minutos con Alexandra Peralta podcast. A new episode comes out every Sunday and every Wednesday of the week. You can watch us on YouTube and you can hear us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you again to our sponsors, Luxus Boutique, Glas Delicias, Erival Handcrafted Soaps, Smart Solutions General Contractors, Reading Furniture and Decor, and CLAVDER. Watches CLAVDER, sorry. And thank you again to my team who is always doing amazing things for these episodes to come out perfectly and on time. See you next time. Bye, honeys.